March is upon us, and Chatham is emerging from a relatively tranquil winter. At least we didn't get clobbered like we did last year.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Welcome to Chatham Today. I'm Huntley Harrison, together with Richard Garvin and Jerry Panuzak, to bring you another installment of Chatham Today, the show that brings you up to date with the events and activities in the town of Chatham. In this show, we'll provide you with all of the information you need to take advantage of what's happening in Chatham during the month of March. This month, our special segment will focus on two local young men and Chatham High School graduates who are aspiring filmmakers, Michael Hull and Brandon DeTraglia. Several weeks ago, the Cape Cod Chronicle ran a story about these backyard filmmakers and how they are creating an adventure film called They Are Mine, which is along the lines of the 1985 Steven Spielberg film The Goonies. Michael is the writer, producer, director, and Brandon is the director of photography. This sounded like an ambitious and interesting endeavor, and we wanted to highlight it. We are pleased to have with us Michael Hull and Brandon DeTraglia. So, Mike and Brandon, welcome to Chatham Today. We're glad to have you here today.
Thanks for having us.
We understand you're involved in some movie making here in Chatham, and we'd like to find out a little bit about it, and I'm sure our viewing audience would like to find out a little bit too after that great article in the Cape Cod Chronicle several weeks ago. It certainly sparked our interest, and so, like I said, we're glad to have you here. And speaking of sparking interest, what sparked your interest in filmmaking?
Wow. I think, well, I was always interested in films growing up. My mom worked at a rental for movies. But
you mean like a Blockbuster type?
Yeah, but it was like a Lilos video. So
Oh, okay.
Remember that?
Yeah.
But I took a film and culture class at Chatham High.
Oh, there you go.
And that was really kind of got me thinking more about the technical aspects of filmmaking. And then I did an internship at Channel 18 with Danny Crash and Bill Darman. And so we talk a lot more about films and what went into making them. Yep. So from there, I kind of just started watching a bunch of movies. And
Good.
Now, let me ask you a question, Mike. Sure. Was Brian Baker your film
He was, Brian
teacher?
Baker, yeah.
All right, we have to give some, he's a friend of ours, so we got to give him a plug.
Little
Give
shout out
him a
right
little
there.
shout out.
Yeah.
And Brandon, how about you? How'd you get involved?
Yeah, so kind of similar, but I started making home movies on my parents' VHS camera back in the day, and then in Chatham with the help of Mr. Burke, the librarian slash AV tech at the time.
Yep.
I used to hang out with him a lot actually after school and just talking about like film and TV, and I used to help out with school committee meetings. And
I remember that.
Do after-school projects with video. I learned a lot. Helped the school out with like recording plays and all that. And then I interned with Channel 18 also, and then I got hired as a full-time here at the channel. And yeah, I just love watching movies.
Good.
And Brian Baker was also my film study
Oh, you
teacher.
took that course also?
Yeah, and then I also took a course at 4Cs as well.
Oh, great. Wonderful. And well, tell us a little bit about your movie, They Are Mine, and the, well, first of all, who wrote it? Did you write it?
I wrote it, yeah. So I started writing it well, I came up with the idea a couple years ago, kind of walking through the woods, but then I really started ambitiously trying to get it all together about a year and a half ago, I suppose, or maybe longer than that.
Yeah.
So I did probably like 7 drafts, and just every draft sending it out to friends who are writers and stuff like that, and they pick it apart, and then they put it back together.
Oh, that's good. and you're making good progress with it. When did you actually start putting the film itself together? You know, you're talking about the idea went back about a year and a half ago, but when did you start really putting the...
So I think we started... See, the problem was that we have snow in our film. It's part of the setting. And it was important that I really wanted to start last in the last winter. And so we were running out of time, but I think we started around like February, January, kind of setting things up.
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
Okay.
And then we were running out of time because I think when we actually started shooting with actors, it was like late February, early March, and
Well, you still had a lot of snow.
Oh, we did, but like it was almost like the last week before all the snow had melted. So
Oh, Lord. Okay.
we were able to get it all.
Yeah.
Did the cold affect the equipment at all?
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
In
like,
what ways, Brandon?
we use this external recorder for my camera, and sometimes it just kind of powers off, and it's finicky. It's a touch screen. It's a high quality piece of gear, but when you're filming outside in the cold in the winter, we had some problems.
Yeah.
And batteries drain faster for cameras and stuff. So
Yeah. Well, tell us specifically, without maybe giving away the plot, the movie, you built this set in your backyard, and
Right.
you know, kind of got all these people, and I'd like to know how, you know, ultimately how you got all the people together and everything.
So I guess so basically it's about these 4 kids. They're all best friends, and they're seniors in high school, and one of them is known to tell these tall tales. And so he believes he sees this girl get kidnapped, and kind of on their day off from school, they decide to hunt down this supposed kidnapper.
Okay.
There could be an abandoned mine shaft that they discover, which could also be a lair for a villain. But so I had to build these mine shafts.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I used these pallets, because the business give away pallets for free.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
So I would do those for the walls, and then I kind of cover it with cardboard, and I spray paint them like brown and stick dirt to them. And
Yep.
So this ended up being like, oh, we were going to just do like a 20-foot section, and then I'm like, this doesn't look real enough. We want it bigger, always bigger. And so it ended up being probably like 70 feet long with the tunnels, and then we had one basic beginning tunnel, like the cave. So that was like 14 feet high and like kind of a dome. So
All in your backyard.
in my backyard, yeah. Well, I live in South Chatham, so
Yeah.
it's a bit,
Now, your
it's not
parents
downtown.
Yeah.
have to be remarkable to allow you to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
I mean, not every mother and father's going to say, "Oh yeah, son, build a cave in the backyard. Perfect."
It's funny. Well, there are times I'm like, you don't support me enough. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, letting me do all that
Oh,
stuff.
that's great.
Yeah.
So,
Well, obviously they see some potential.
well, hopefully. But it was only gonna. I'm like, it's only gonna be 3 months. Don't worry. And I think it was still there like a year later. So,
Oops.
but
back to your point though about like when we start putting it together.
Yep.
We started filming last February, and then kind of took a break. I think like once the snow went away, like what happened?
yeah, the snow melted.
So we
and-
filmed like all the most of the exterior shots because of the snow, and then you started building the set. When was that? Like in the summer?
Yeah, that was like the late, maybe like end of March to the beginning. Then we started. Our next shoot was probably around like late June, early July.
Yeah. Then we started filming in the summer
Okay.
inside of the set,
All right.
and then finished up exterior shots just a few weeks ago, like this past winter.
Well, the
It's
interesting
still-
thing with a movie, I guess you can kind of put it together in pieces and
Yeah.
then just edit it all together
Right.
so it makes sense later on. So you had some of the challenges with weather. You had some challenges with the actual set itself.
Right.
Tell me about challenges with the actors, not necessarily personality challenges, but
So
how'd you
difficult.
get them all? Where'd you get them all from?
So I was just gonna originally use my friends, but like with this film, I kind of, because I've done that with all my previous short films,
Yep.
but with this one, I kind of wanted to take it to the next level, and be more professional about it. So I ended up going to 4Cs and talking to the acting teacher there, and so then we held auditions, and I spoke to the acting classes, and people actually came, which is good, and we auditioned some actors, and we found our cast. which is
Interesting.
good.
Any Screen Actors Guild issues?
No, none of them are
Not-
part of SAG.
not part of SAG,
It's
okay.
kind of just
Yeah.
independent
Yeah.
stuff.
And so you reached out to 4Cs to find some of your cast, and I noticed in the newspaper article there were some names I recognized from dear old Chatham High School days.
Right. Like,
Off the top, well, maybe I didn't. I thought I did.
well, yes, I think, Phoebe Schraft is,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's in that cast as well.
Yeah.
And then there's Sophia Phillips.
Yes.
She,
Oh,
she
yeah,
was,
yeah.
Yep.
She was in she's part of our cast as well. So we knew them.
Yep.
And they were good. So
They're good.
They made the bill.
So, tell us a little bit more about your previous efforts at movie making. I mean, this was obvious. This particular one is a culmination of some prior experience that you're putting together. So, tell us, about some of those.
Well, so we shot our first film, and
In the woods?
in the woods, yeah. So we've run into some problems with getting permits for
Yeah.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
and so we've gotten in a bit of trouble. But with this one, we tried to do more planning, so I think we've gotten a little bit better at that, and it seemed pretty professional. So
Yeah. Well, that's good.
maybe the next one will be.
Well, you make small steps,
Exactly.
and you had 3 previous films that you've put together.
Yeah, so
I think
I think it's I've
this
done
being your
4
fourth?
I think I've done 4 short films.
Okay.
And then this is the feature. Each one's gotten a little bit longer.
Yep.
So I wanted to do a feature. So
Okay.
Yeah. Now, and this is when you say a feature can be. But is there a time that says, okay, now this is a feature? Like it has to be an hour, at least an hour or something?
yeah, so for the festivals, the local festivals, it says a minimum of 40 minutes.
Okay.
I'm hoping right now it's probably going to be around like 53, 54 minutes because we've been tightening it up. So hopefully they won't look down on us for not being an hour and a half. But
Yeah.
I just want it to be good. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying not to care about the length and
Right.
make the best product.
Just put a good product out. Now,
Go
go
I
ahead.
just want to interject something. Now, you built the cave as part of the set, or the major part of the set, but
I
you
did.
also went to other venues around town. Now, how do you go about asking somebody to do that? I mean, do you
Yeah.
expect a negative reply or a positive reply, or get out of here, kid, you're crazy?
Yeah, well, so for my other film, like I feel like I've gotten used to asking people weird questions and stuff like that. So, well, for my other one, we had to flip over a car, so
Oh, yeah,
I had to go to the junkyard, Chris Clark's
yes.
out of body, and kind of get a car that we could flip over and destroy, and it charged me very little
Right,
but the effect in the movie looks a lot better.
Yeah, oh, sure.
So I'm kind of used to that, but a lot of times people are more accommodating. They think it's a bit strange, but they're like, sure, I guess. People sometimes are worried about getting sued, so
Yeah,
I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's all kind of word of mouth and trust.
Oh, yeah.
I
Right.
think for the most part, though, everyone has let us do stuff. Like, he went to the wreck because we needed to film an exterior shot at the wreck
Yep.
in Chatham,
Yeah.
and that was no problem.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, you're 2 local people who people
Yeah.
are familiar with, probably know through one source or another.
Yeah.
One thing as you were talking, it made me think when we were talking about the actual filming itself and difficulties with that. What about audio? How does that work
Yeah.
out?
Well, it's not. That's one field that we can get stronger in because, well, Brandon was the cameraman. I'm kind of trying to direct, and
Yeah.
it's hard to recruit people to do audio because they have to stand there with a boom pole and
Yep.
get the correct levels. So we didn't have like a constant one audio person, so we would have to switch between friends, and so we
Mike had to do a lot
that
of
adds
it.
to
Yeah,
some
yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
So
like,
shorthanded.
It's not always the best, So that's something we would have to clean up in
Right.
post and kind of ADR it. So.
And any like post-production type audio dubbing and things like that, or
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So right now the audio sounds pretty good, but if we were going to show it in like a theater, like where you can hear everything, we would want to really clean it up.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yeah, audio is super challenging.
I bet it is. I bet it really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in films, what came first? The visual, then the sound, right?
yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
It really does add a lot though,
Yeah.
because we were doing the score and stuff like that, and adding more like atmospheric sounds and stuff like that, and it changes the whole tone, So
Sure.
we can do that stuff,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Well, this is interesting. This is a fascinating project, and certainly we wish you all the best with it. And I'm real happy that you guys had a chance to visit with us today here in Chatham today, and tell us a little bit about it. And I hope when it comes out, we see it in the paper, and we can go take a look. And I hope every one of our viewers has a chance to go see They Are Mine, Michael Hull and Brandon DeTraglia. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I know.
Appreciate it.
I know.
The Council on Aging has a very busy month. Here are the highlights. Last call for the day trip to see a matinee performance of The Sound of Music in Providence on Thursday, March 10th. This will be a full-day trip with lunch at your cost. Ticket cost is $31 for rear orchestra seats, which is half price. Call the COA for reservations. First come, first served. Don't miss out on a great trip. The annual St. Patrick's Day celebration will be on Monday, March 14th. Come for lunch and a show for $7. Chatham's own famous entertainers, Rose and Gene Clancy, along with Douglas Fields, have generously donated their talents to provide us with some traditional Irish music and stories. Rose Clancy is a much-respected, high-energy musician playing fiddle, mandolin, and banjo at concerts and festivals throughout the Northeast. While sharing the stage with some of the greatest traditional performers, space is limited and reservations are required. Transportation is available. Call the COA to make your reservation. May you have the luck of the Irish and be able to join them for this great program.
Well, the Clancys are terrific.
Oh, they can't be beat.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's a new offering, adult coloring. I never heard of this, but join in on the latest craze sweeping the country. Every Friday from 10 to noon. If you have shopped on Amazon lately, you may have noticed that 5 of the top 10 bestsellers on the retail giant's website are adult coloring books. The designs appeal to every interest, from whimsical doodles to circular mandalas, nature scenes, and fantasy worlds. Coloring not only evokes happy memories of childhood, the fact can also foster a sense of well-being and offer a relaxing respite from our digital world. Crafters have known this intuitively for years. The COA will have all the colored pencils, gel pens, and adult coloring books ready for you to try the newest craze. Come enjoy the calm and give it a try. Unwind, unplug, and do something good for yourself. Besides, it's free and fun. Call the COA to sign up.
You know, the adult coloring, it's just catching on, and they're finding...
I've never heard of this.
I know, it's fine. And we gave Christmas presents this year to some of our adult friends.
Did you really?
Coloring books or stocking stuffers. That's my wife's idea.
Well, okay. Let her get the blame for it.
Right.
But, you know, I never heard of this. This is the first time reading the script here that adult coloring, I know you color with your grandkids and things like that, but for adults only?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It seems to be very popular
Man,
and very calming, as they said. So, anyway,
All right, back to business.
back to business.
AARP Foundation tax preparation appointments will be available on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8:30 to 3:15, February 3rd through April 13th. AARP Foundation tax preparation is available free to taxpayers with low to moderate income, with special attention to those 60 and over, ensuring they receive applicable tax credits and deductions. AARP Foundation Tax Aid is offered in cooperation with the IRS. Chatham seniors will be served at the AARP regional site at the Chatham Community Center. Appointments are now available and transportation can be provided. Stop by the COA to make an appointment and receive your intake packet. Call for more information. Moving to something more fun than taxes. Well, there's a lot of things more fun than taxes, like going to the dentist, but all right. The March birthday celebration will be on Wednesday, March 9th at 2 p.m. If you were born in the month of March and reside in Chatham, please join them for their monthly birthday celebration. Call to register or stop by the front desk. Another fun event this month is the Free Cruise Party on Friday, March 18th at 1:30. You are cordially invited to an all-expense-paid cruise party sponsored by the Women's Club of Chatham and the Friends of the Chatham COA. This is your passport to paradise. Please join them as they cruise into spring. The port of call? The Chatham Council on Aging. Cruise, casual, and tropical wear optional. They will be having a cruise-style dessert buffet along with souvenir photos, door prizes, and music. Don't miss the fun. Space is limited and reservations are required. Transportation will be available. Call the COA to register. There are 2 other day trips in March: food, food, and more food. The monthly trip to Whole Foods will be on Wednesday, March 16th, and lunch at the Hidden Cove restaurant at Cape Tech will be on Monday, March 30th. Space is limited, so call and reserve your spot now. Movie Mondays at the COA Cinema for free. 2 Oscar-nominated films: The Martian on March 7th, Bridge of Spies on March 28th, and Leap Year on March 21st. Check these out, and while you're at it, come early for a gourmet luncheon at noon. For more detailed information, call the COA. Check their website at www.chathamcoa.com.
Here are the events for the month of March at the Eldridge Public Library. The Chatham Writers Group meets on Mondays at 10:30 a.m. The members meet to explore different writing genres. Share your work with the group. If you would like to join, call Diane DeGennaro at 774-237-0899. The Chatham Memoir Group meets Fridays from 10:30 a.m. to noon. Everyone can write about their own experiences. But do you need tips to make them interesting reading? If you want to join this group, call Mal Ward at 508-945-42984. On Sunday, March 6th at 2 p.m., Sunday Afternoons at the Eldridge presents Argentina and Peru, Lands of Beauty and Contrast. Join Sue Simpson and Deborah Clark as they share with you their most recent adventures in South America. The Book to Film discussion group will meet on Saturday, March 12th at 2 p.m. to discuss Child 44 by P.D. James. The monthly Great Books discussion will take place on Tuesday, March 15th at 3 p.m. This discussion group is for people who want to talk about outstanding writings in history, literature, philosophy, politics, science, theology, and other disciplines. For more information, please contact facilitator Rick Pike at 508-221-3240 or Rick Pike Cape Cod at yahoo.com. This information is on your screen now. Sunday Afternoons at the Eldridge continues on March 20th at 2 p.m. with India, Bells of Change, tracing the story of India's Kathak dance. Join Anjali Mitter Duva on a journey to 16th century Rajasthan, India, based on her travels to that desert region and on her study of the Kathak dance. Anjali will speak about the history of India and the way its socio-political upheavals have been mirrored in this art form. And finally, for March, the Friends of Eldridge Public Library Book Club will meet on the 29th at 4 p.m. to discuss Dead Wake, The Last Crossing of the Lusitania by Eric Larson.
And now for some items of general interest. There is a new date for the Beehive Oven baking at the Caleb Nickerson House. Due to the heavy snow in January, the event has been rescheduled, for Sunday, March 6th, from noon to 3 p.m., under the direction of Maureen Leavenworth. Bring a dish ready for the oven or help Maureen prepare something to bake. You will share the dishes once they are all cooked. This is a fun and popular event, and they request a $15 firing fee. Please phone Maureen for reservations at 508-255-8821. They hope to see you there.
That's great. Remember we went?
Yeah, we did go.
Oh,
yeah.
It's good stuff.
It's
And she does a great job.
And I think they all have a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty popular. And the Cape Cod Fishermen's Alliance will be starting up their Meet the Fleet series in March with a presentation on seals. This will take place on Wednesday, March 30th at 5:30 p.m. at the Alliance headquarters on Route 28 in West Chatham. Fishermen and scientists are working collaboratively to try to understand the role and impact of gray seals in the Cape Cod ecosystem. You will hear from fisherman Doug Feeney, woods hole biologist Andrea Bogomolny, and Owen Nichols, director of Marine Fisheries Research at the Center for Coastal Studies. They will discuss the research they are doing and Doug's on-the-water experiences while opening a conversation about the return of this predator to our waters. This event is both free and open to the public. Please note that RSVP is required. You can reserve by mail at RSVP, CapeCodFisherman.org, or call 508-945-2432, extension 109.
Now, that ought to be an interesting experience, learning about those seals. You see them all over the place,
Well,
you know?
yeah, and especially now that the shark, the most recent thing about the sharks is that they're thinking that there might be more than 300 sharks in our waters this summer. Now, that doesn't mean going along the beach, but still, the sharks are talking to each other and saying, lunch is in Chatham.
Looks like I'm swimming in the lakes now.
Yeah, absolutely. Schoolhouse Pond, here I come. The Creative Arts Center on Kroll Road will be having the Members Show from March 7th through March 11th, with an opening reception on Sunday, March 6th from 4 to 5:30. The Members Exhibition is an interesting sampling of works across the board, contributing, working, and professional artists, along with lay members and their faculty, provide a fantastic range of styles and mediums. And Local Color Gallery, home of the Chatham Farmers Market, will be having a book signing and opening reception on Friday, March 11th from 4 to 8 p.m. and a book signing on Saturday, the 12th, from noon to 3 o'clock. Imagine finding a perfectly shaped heart rock on the beach, a gift from the sea symbolizing the universal image of love, while also crystallizing the simple joys of walking by the water's edge. Inspired by these wonders of nature, photographer Amy M. Dykins presents her 135 beautiful images of heart rocks in their native environment, along with her words of calm introspection and an appreciation of generosity and love. Some of these treasures are heart-shaped. Some have a heart image through or on them, but all are precious creations. This is a must-see. And finally, it's that time of year again. So hop on over or even run. The Easter Bunny's on his way to Cape Gould Park on Saturday, March 26th from 11 to 12, with treats for girls and boys with jelly beans and Easter eggs. Don't miss out on all the fun. Among the candy eggs hidden in the park, try to discover a prize egg and win an Easter basket filled with goodies. This event is sponsored by the Chatham Merchants Association with candy donated by the Chatham Candy Manor. We'd like to thank Mike Hull and Brandon DeTraglia for talking with us today about their movie, They Are Mine, coming out soon. Now that wraps it up for this time. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Chatham Today. Remember, the show runs on Channel 99 on Mondays at 9 a.m., and several other times during the week. If you missed the cable cast or want to see it again, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, or you can visit our website. Just do a Google search for site/Chatham Today. It should be the first entry you see. The web address is on the screen now. Chatham Today is a video chronicle of the events and activities in the town of Chatham. If you would like to have what's happening in your organization announced on the air, please email us. We look forward to hearing from you. You can also like us on Facebook under Chatham Today, and we hope you do. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you down the road.